What is up, everyone? We are here for our final video down at Garage S0 building my SR20. We filmed the entire process, taking this mystery, junky, hurt SR20 and turning it into something magical. I'll put like sparkles and stuff. I don't know, but it's been a total transformation. We have taken that block, done all the machining, did all the assembly, made it go all the cleaning, made it look beautiful. And now today we're gonna be finishing off with the head components. The last piece of the puzzle. We're gonna finish doing the head, get it all on and make this thing look complete. Before we start, come check this thing out. You guys saw in the previous videos, we filmed all of the machining process to get us prepped for the point we're at now. So if you guys wanna see that, go check it out. But for now, what we have here is a fully machined head ready to get built. Of course, we have the head, we have it machined. Now we need the components for the head. And now this video is sponsored by Kelford cams. And I'll tell you what, we've been using Kelford cams for many years now. This is my go-to one-stop shop for head components for any car. From a Subaru to a LS to a SR to a new Supra, they got you covered with anything you need. Now, we've been using their products for a really long time. JP, I know, is a huge fan. When I mentioned Kelford, he was super excited about our products that we had going on in this head. When I went to the facility in New Zealand, right? If you guys remember, I went to New Zealand like 2 years ago for one of the best trips I ever had. We went to their headquarters and I saw their whole foundation. I saw all the machinery, their team, all the R&D that goes into it. They put so much love, so much research, and so much quality control into their product. It made me really love the product that much more and want to continue to make sure I have Kelford head components on every build I do. Of course, for this one, we're following the trait and we got the Kelford goodies for this. We already have our guides pressed into the head, machines ready to go. What we have here is we have our new valves. Now, do we need new valves? No. Did I want them? Yeah, save us some time and it's nice to start fresh. Our Kelford adjustable cam gears so we can properly degree this engine. Someone said it looked like a bike sprocket.
It does.
It does, right? Like, I want to hit him up and see if we can get this like spline so you could put this on a BMX bike. Like, that would be sick. We got our new upgraded springs and retainers, right, to match the performance of our engine. And then of course, the cream of the crop, we have our new Kelford cams. Now, when it comes to all these components, when it comes to choosing your components for your engine, there's a lot of variables you want to look into, and we'll explain what we're doing and why we're doing it as we go along. But of course, if you guys have any questions or need or help to get your car situated, you can always hit the boys up at Kelford Cams. They know what they're doing and they'll get you right. But for now, let's assemble a head. Talking about head. What do you think, Tommy? Fresh, brand new everything.
Oh, it's so nice. All Kelford?
All Kelford.
Good shit.
Good shit, baby. See?
Good
and
shit.
this is the pickiest on the planet.
I'm the JDM guy. That Kelford shit's good.
You gonna assemble this for me?
Yeah, I got it. Just turn the camera off. I'll do it. I don't want to know my secrets, you know?
Yeah, do this now. On to it. The headmaster himself. JP S14. Where do we start?
So we got the head cleaned up. Obviously, cleaning is the biggest thing. So we're gonna make sure there's nothing in there that's gonna travel in the engine once the engine's running. First step is the seals, obviously.
So seals, like what do these actually do, like for the people who don't know?
So this is obviously what makes the seal against the valve. The valve stem rides up against that seal and that squeegees the oil from getting into the combustion chamber.
Ah, that makes sense, right? Because so what we have here is we have all this oil splash around the head. We want oil everywhere because everything in the head's moving. And so what happens is if we don't have these seals, you see our guides, the things that our valve rests in, oil can get into the chamber and then burn. So you'll see people talk about when their seals go bad, you get a lot more smoke in the exhaust. You have these old engines, you have these high miles engines, these seals can go bad, they get hard, they dry out, they're not efficient, and that will cause smoking. And you guys have seen that from a lot of our Ks in the past. Through the guide, and this will just live like this its whole life. So think about how much like these get the ass kicked out of them. Because look, it's just, think about how many times this goes up and down its whole life.
And with a little bit of lube, just gonna pop these things on.
Just how they go. Valve time, baby. Now it's time to slip our valve in. Pop to the seals. Cool. Never going dry, boys. We all know the deal. Now we gotta throw our springs and our retainers in, right? So this is what actually the valve is held into, and we need the spring, right? Because this thing is getting pushed down. It needs to spring back up. Now when it comes to picking your springs, spring pressure is a huge deal, right? Because you don't want them super loose, so when you're making power, throwing RPM in it, the valve spring can't actually keep up with the rotation of the engine. You gotta think about that. But you also don't want them so heavy that you're putting excess load on your valve train because it'll cause it to wear out faster, potential issues, and honestly, it's not gonna do you any good. These are advertised to be about 90 foot-pounds of seat pressure, but we have new valves, We have a machined in head. The spring pressure can change a little bit. So JP mocked it all up, measured it out, and he tested the physical spring pressure with our current setup. It's about 88 foot-pounds, which is exactly where we want to be. And I'm happy with that. That's a good point,
yeah.
JP. You want to explain to them that?
So one more thing that people miss when it comes to high springs and all that stuff, you're actually robbing your engine from power. Because now the engine's fighting that extra spring pressure.
That's a mechanical load that we now have to overcome.
Exactly. So why rob your engine from power with an unnecessary spring pressure when you can, you know, just do with the bare minimum that you need and save your camshaft and save your power.
Before the springs actually go in, we have one more piece of the puzzle.
These are called the spring seat shims. Obviously the spring cannot be contacting the cylinder head bare because it's aluminum, so it's gonna chew out through it. So this spring shim serves as a protector for the shim to not chew through the head.
Does every engine have? Like
Yeah, they should all, 99% of them will have the spring shim.
Fancy expensive tool number 78. So this is gonna compress our spring so we can actually get our keepers on. It always blows my mind that these little things are what's holding your valve train together, right?
And they're literally just in there just by pressure.
By pressure, like, cause look at
These little tiny little cones.
Because nothing is more destructive than basically a valve falling. There's so many things that could account. Dude, it is.
And you're relying on that.
And that's it. That's the backbone of it all, bro. The crazy thing is, what I'm saying is, it's surprisingly not an issue as much as you would think. Because they work. Someone figured that out many, many moons ago. They just work. I'll take it. We tried to do this in the car for the FRS on the 2J. I was compressing the spring and Spoon was trying to put the keepers in. He's like, quit shaking. I'm like, it's heavy. It's a hard spring to push. Like, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Valve train is in. Now it's time for, well, the trickier bit of it, but it's not too bad. So what we have here is we have a rocker arm. And what this does is what the cam pushes down on, right? This is what actuates the valves himself. So this thing will sit on the two valves and then it'll sit on a lifter. What the lifter does is it makes sure that this always sits nice and snug on the valves and the cams. What we really have to make sure is that this rocker arm is sitting perfectly flat. Since it's sitting on two valves, if it's off at an angle and it's going up and down, it's gonna cause a lot of issues, especially with the RPMs, and we can actually have this thing fall off, right? If this thing falls out, we lose our shims. You always see it with SRs, you threw a shim, not good, we don't want that. So we gotta make sure this is perfectly flat. And the big difference is, you know, the height of each valve is gonna be partially different between the manufactured part of the valve and mainly the way it actually sits in the seat itself. Because you guys saw how we cut the seat of the valve into the head. All of those heights are now different. So we need to put specific shims in here that are different thicknesses to make up for those, because we need this perfectly flat. So this uses a hydraulic lifter, which basically means the oil pressure is helping make up that clearance all the time. You have to make sure that you're actually in the range of that hydraulic lifter to do its job. So we gotta account for that while we do the shimming process. Here we go, SR shims. This is the bane of some people's existence. You guys have probably heard it a million times because they basically turn into a meme, because people are known to have issues where these shims go flying out of their head and boom, you gotta go dig for them. They end up in the oil pan. You gotta find them, put them in the back at the track, take your cams out. It sucks.
We found one in the oil pan when we took this thing apart.
We did find one in the oil pan, we took it apart. And what happens is, if this isn't shimmed correctly to sit in the right position, or if you're revving it too high, your valve train can't keep up, or the limiter's way too aggressive and this thing's banging around, you're gonna throw a shim and it's gonna suck. You could break one of these and they're expensive. You can cause damage in your head, whatever. If you look, we have two different types. We have one with a slit in them, one without a slit in them. The slit is kind of used on one of these slits right here. Do you see the slit in that one? So that's actually used to position this, because this can't move side to side now. Now the other one is purely used to make up the difference in height. So the guiding shim, look how scary these things are. They just sit like that.
This also feels like the valve keepers, where it's like just
like
a loose piece of it.
It's crazy. And then think about how fast this is going up and down in your engine. It's actually a miracle that this isn't more of an issue. There are a couple of ways you could do it. The guiding shims are known to won't be better. So people will do dual guide conversions, which will use 2 guides on each side. Or you can go shimless. You have to get a longer valve. They sell a special valve for it, and you actually machine the height of the valve down instead of you just kind of using these replaceable shims. Obviously, it's a lot more work, which means it's a lot more money, but it is a really sick fix if you're trying to build a gangster high revving SR. You're probably sitting there, Jim, big dog. All right, how do you, right, Travis, that's what you call me. Yeah, Travis calls me big dog. I don't know. He wants to say something smart so bad. How do we measure the shims? Like, how do we make sure we are level with these shims? So JP has this specialty tool he's made many moons ago. This has been through a lot of SRs. This did the head on my purple car. That car's been amazing. We read that car at 8 grand.
Oh, nice. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's hitting. So what this does is JP will then stick this in the hole for
The lifter bore.
and then he'll use this feeler gauge to measure the height of our fixed guide, which is the one that we're not changing. And then he's gonna use this to measure how high the second shim is, which we could adjust the height of. We'll have a kit, you could buy these, they're super cheap, of all the different thicknesses. So say like, I mean, you'll see the numbers in here. So say we need to go down, 0.1, boom, right here, 1.9. Or we need to add, 0.7, go all the way up to here. So this makes life a lot easier. Shim's not sitting perfectly.
That looks pretty fine right there. Zeroing out and removing. So we're 6 thou bigger on this side. So now, in an exaggerated sense, the rocker arm's sitting like this, crooked. So if the cam lobe comes in, it's gonna constantly wanna push the rocker arm that way.
So we need to find a shim that's 6 thou thinner.
Smaller, correct, on that side. Zero that out.
Yep, so
where you are in the middle. Oh, not too hard.
Oh,
not too
that
hard.
was,
Yeah,
it'll lift it off the.
Yeah, so just kind of like, just with your finger, just.
The bounce, perfect.
Yeah, like that, so you know it's repeating.
Pull this up.
And then carry both of them over very carefully over to the other side. It's gonna be hard, yeah, so. And then just drop it on the center.
Okay, so we're 5 thou off.
5 thou too tall.
5 bigger, yeah.
5 bigger.
Exactly.
Okay.
So now we have to choose a shim that's 5 thou smaller than that one, and that should get us within the tolerance.
Perfect. Machinist Jim. Okay.
So
18 and a half.
So you're at 100 thou and 18 and a half.
18 and a half. So we want to go 5 thou less at 13 and a half is what we want. And we'll double check just to feel better about it. Yeah, we'll put quarter barely off.
Wow. No, I think that's good.
That's good?
You're a half thou maybe off of it.
What's our top? What is our tolerance?
2,000.
2,000. Okay, so we're good.
Yeah, you're 1/4 of the tolerance in, so you're.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
She's all shimmed, ready to go. And now what that means is we can actually get the head on the engine. We still have to do the lifters, the rocker arms, and the cams, but that is stuff that we'll do on the engine. But for now, let's get this thing married up and make it official.
Big moment.
Big moment. Where's I should have brought my hype button. Quick interruption, because in the last video, we did our first drop of the year, and well, it sold out a lot faster than we thought about.
You guys must have loved this one.
It sold out before the YouTube video even went live. So I felt bad because
crazy.
I didn't give the guys on YouTube a chance to grab the merch, right? So if you guys haven't seen it, we have a casual front, and then we have the back that encompasses the vibe that we've had for like the last, I guess, forever, and that is just all hands on deck. All the boys on, getting the boys on the track, and I absolutely love this vibe, love this style, love this design. Our buddy Sasha, very talented, does our work for us. It's always an honor for him to give us a piece. So we're gonna do a pre-order for the guys that missed out. Only though on the t-shirts. I don't like doing pre-orders too often, but for this one it sold out. I didn't even give you guys a chance to get it, so I kind of feel bad. So we're only gonna do the t-shirt and pre-order. So if you missed out, we're gonna hold the pre-order open until the end of the week, so Friday at midnight, we'll say. If you guys wanna cop the tee, it's the last time we'll print it. Hop below, shop Demio, and cop yourself a fresh tee, and well, don't miss out on this one. Just remember, pre-orders, they take like an extra 2 weeks to come in, so be patient.
You get a chance to get the shirt.
But you get a chance. Not every engine needs this, but since it's a timing cover, the head gasket seals like this little oiling area. So it's always good practice to put a really thin layer of RTV in the front of it, just so we don't have to worry about oil seeping out the front. It's so annoying. You'll have an SR, and like it'll seep enough that your engine always looks dirty, but not enough to ever actually be a problem. So you just perpetually have a junky looking motor. Don't use orange RTV though, I swear to God. You saw it before how I had orange sticking out the front. Nothing makes you look more, even if the OEM calls for it, nothing makes you look more unprofessional than when you have orange RTV smushing out of somewhere. Especially on this little crack right here. So, I mean, it's machined so tight that like you need the thinnest layer of RTV. Now don't do this because I've definitely never done this. Forget your dowels, right? So these dowels will help align the head and the block with each other on each side. Just get a hammer. I've never forgotten them, but I've been very close. Because you go to put the head on, you're like, I'm all finally ready, and you're like, oh, the dowels. You should sit. There's definitely some dude watching this video who like recently assembled his engine, so he's like, no! Did I put the dowels in? Did I not put the dowels in? Like, woo! Now when it comes to picking a head gasket, obviously there's different brands, there's different types, and there's different thicknesses. Now with the thickness, that will adjust your compression. A thinner one means higher compression. A thicker one means lower compression. So like a big mod is if you're turboing an engine, get a thicker head gasket, lowers compression, makes it a little bit safer on pump gas, yada yada. For us, we're just gonna do a standard thickness because we already have the engine within compression that we want. I think I'm happy with 11:1. Of course, you gotta make sure when you go with oversized pistons, you get the head gasket to match, right? Because if we're opening up this bore, we wanna make sure that the head gasket is the correct sizing with your cylinder walls. So we went with 87mm pistons, so we have an 87mm head gasket. Ready? Let me get the, oh, go back down. Oh, I didn't want to get covered in RTV. The worst part is this guide. You have to like do a little loop-de-loop. There you go. JP's done this before. Oh, there we go. Perfect.
Nice. Now, keys.
Now we're done. Let's go home. Hell yeah. You get a head stud. You get a head stud. I can't believe this is the same motor. I'm just having flashbacks of when I was pulling out the old head studs and they were like stuck in. Air P lube. Travis showed me this technique using an acid brush to brush on instead of just like smearing it on with your finger. I thought that was genius. It's the little things, you know. You just do something one way so many times, you like kind of stop thinking about other options of doing it, you know. Torque her down. I was gonna say last one, but I was like, that's a bad juice to say last one. She's torqued up, and of course we torqued it to the same spec that we did when we machined it to make sure that the block is distorted the same way as when we machined it, so now everything is all happy and square.
They're married.
They're married, it's official. You may now kiss the bride. Look how good that thing looks, dude. Look at my little mystery SR right here. That is beautiful, dude. I'm so excited. I've never had a built S13 engine. I always do 14, 15 engines because I like VTC. We did the high compression to kind of, you know, do some experimenting because no one ever does that for these things. Me and JP talked about a lot about this, how the intake runners on the S13 head are actually more set up for power than, or I guess better flow than the not shot motors. Because if you look, right, look at the angle at which these go down into the chamber. It's pretty dramatic, right? Because the taller we can get this, the more efficient the air is gonna ram into the cylinder, which will promote torque, power, all these, etc. Now in S14, S15 motors, which I love because of VTC, if you look at the ports, they're flat, and then they have to rotate down into the cylinder. It's like little stuff like that goes a long way. So the big thing now is if we port that head, we need to do it. That's how we unlock the full potential of that thing. We got the compression in it, so we need more air into it. Now to get more air into it, we need a porting job. So we have to get in here, open them up. I wouldn't just say open up because there's a lot of math and there's a lot of science to the shape at which it's opened up. But I know you've done a lot of head porting in the past, but this is what we got this big fancy thing for, the CNC. So we could do CNC port jobs, which would be huge. So I'm thinking, we'll see what it could do on this head. We'll take it off.
Yeah.
I'll make you port it.
Yeah.
You'll get all crafty with it, and then write a file so we can replicate that later in the future too.
Of course, yeah, that'll be the goal. So that way we have something that we can do for the S13 heads because you know they're so common.
If we could do it before and after, and like whatever we do, we'll will just show even better results because of the compression.
Exactly, yeah.
It's all about good head, brother. So we have more to look forward to, but this is stage 1. So, all right, engine's looking awesome. Let's get the rest of the components together. So now we have our lifters. Good thing I had the bucket there. So these have been sitting for a long time and they're probably dirty because that engine was filthy. So what we're doing right now is JP has one in that cup of oil and he's basically compressing it over and over again to kind of get oil in it, to bleed it out, and to force out whatever gunk is inside of it. So he's doing a 2-4 and he's cleaning it. We already cleaned him on the outside, but he's kind of flowing oil through them right now to clean them out and to get them packed so these things aren't just full of air when we go to start the car for the first time. So that's the oil rail that we cleaned out, right? Yeah, so
That's what feeds them.
remember that like oil passage that we took out to clean? It sits within like this little oil rail, and that's what feeds the lifter with oil. It's very cool. The big question next is, what engine do we build next? We got a machine shop, we gotta put the boys to work. JP, what engine do you want to build next? Like if you were like Jim, like build this engine, I really want to play with it. Let's make magic happen. It's kind of, I wanted to start with something that like I had a lot of data for, right?
Yeah.
Because I've done a lot of different SR setups, and a lot of guys, oh, another SR, but it's fun when you keep something consistent, so then when you make these big changes, you can see what they actually do. We'll keep some things consistent between other setups, but now with the higher compression, we can kind of see actually what it does, not just be like, oh, well, the turbo's different, this is different. You know what I'm trying to say? This is fun for a first result, but what engine do you think would be cool? Like, what do you want to play with?
I would say let's do a 3SGT.
Yeah?
Beams, yeah. Let's do a beams. I think that's something we only did one time and never since. And I think it's got a lot of potential.
I would love to do a beams. It's a great engine. The only thing that sucks about them is their factory so high compression, so you can't like boost them. They make good power NA, but like it doesn't touch a K series. They're so high compression that those stock internals are gonna blow apart being tuned.
Exactly.
But if we do like a built and forge one, it'd probably be sick.
Yeah, and the biggest thing, like you said, since you're a big fan of these straight shot to the port to the back of the valve, the 3SG also has a very, very great cylinder head. So that's why I believe a lot of them.
VVTi, Toyota.
Titanium valves, which is very rare for a production engine to have titanium valves.
So what you're telling me is to buy an Altezza. I have wanted an excuse to buy an Altezza for way too damn long. I got a kid, so sedan, there we go. But JP wants to build a 3SGT.
Oh, all right. Thank you.
Thank you, JP. Thank you.
Buy an Altezza for me. Thank you. I mean, for you, but we'll live to build through you.
Anything for you, JP. I'm gonna go on Marketplace. Hold on. Now we have our rockers. So that sits on the lifter, and then that sits on the shims that we got leveled out. So now these rockers are sitting perfectly level. Now it's time for the big moment. We get to get this thing fitted with some cams. And of course, we got ourselves a set of beautiful Kelford camshafts. Now I called the boys and I told them what my desired power band was. I told them what turbo I wanted, and I told them, well, the rest of the engine setup, and they suggested me to start with these cams. And I told them I want to play with it, so I think we're going to try different cams later on. We should be able to just swap cams out, no issues with the style of head, which is awesome, so we could definitely play with that later on. But for here, we actually started with a more, I guess, I'd say they're smaller cam. This would be a 254 exhaust and intake. Now, JP, what do you think?
I'd rather see a high lift cam versus a high duration, because the higher duration, you're going to push the power band higher up. So this is going to keep the power band down low, make a lot of power, and hopefully the bottom end can hold up to it. So.
Be torquey and snappy just like you want.
That's what I told them, exactly. They knew I wanted a hard-hitting SR, and that's what this is spec'd out to be.
This
so.
is exactly what I would have recommended. I personally would have loved to do something like this. They're awesome. I love Kelford. Kelford's so good.
The fact that we got Tommy to say anything else other than HKS is great. Means a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Caked up shouty. See how they're numbered? Just huge, because you cannot mix these up. So I is for the intake side. Exhaust doesn't have it on here. Now it's time for our pretty little Kelford adjustable cam gears. You have this piece, which is actually what spins on the cam angle sensor that Travis ripped off the OEM one with his bare hands like a psychopath.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Dude, adjustable cam gears. It always makes any engine look so much faster. Like you get a stock, completely stock JZ, you get the little adjustable cam gears on it, plus 30 horsepower for nothing. So obviously the point of the adjustable cam gears is so we could actually degrade our engine properly. This will allow us to retard or advance either our intake cam or exhaust cam, and that will allow us to really tailor in our power band to our setup. Now, we could show the whole degreeing process later on because we don't have enough time today. But honestly, we could even free ball these things on the dyno and move the cams around to really shift our power band, which is pretty cool. And sometimes they just look badass, and that's why you put them on. Come on, look how cool that looks. We just gotta make sure we take these off, Loctite them, and torque them, just so they don't move. Hold it. Oh. Now time for the tensioner. So I always like to upgrade to a manual tensioner. So the factory one is hydraulic, and when you're pushing these things to this level, I don't really trust it, so we'll change to a manual tensioner. Set the tension real quick. JP, where's the straight edge? Come on, the scale.
Go in more?
Go in. I'm going.
Yeah, right there.
Like a chain rattle, I'm calling you. I feel like there needs to be like, you know when you time an engine, usually like a pin you pull for like the belts and stuff? Let's pull a pin, snap, she's timed. Look at that, perfectly in spec. Engine beautiful, we got a beautiful Kelford head package. We got our Garage S0, everything. JP, Travis, Dream Team, we love it. Can we just put a before clip right here? Like look at this engine like 2 weeks ago. Look at it now. Not only is it just fully built, but just seeing it so beautiful and new and ready to go, I'm excited to just see the results of it, you know. Nothing feels better than having like a built engine in the wrapper because you know the possibilities of it, and it takes so much to get to this step. But now doing a recipe we've never done before, I'm pumped. I cannot wait for the results. So now I have to shift gears and actually get that car together so we can see what this thing can do, but it's gonna be dope. But the first SR20 to come out of Garage S0. Boop, 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 boop.
Good job, boys.
Obviously, this is not the first SR20 these guys have done, but you know what I'm trying to say.
With the new era.
Machine shop, this new era of machining, so it's gonna be sick.
All the fancy equipment, you can't beat it. So we need to mock up one more piece to make it feel efficient. Okay, give me a second. This thing has been here for a minute, and I'm claiming it. Tommy didn't even know he had it back here. I'm claiming it. We were looking for this for so long. It's because when this shelf was here for so long, someone spun it around recently, so we had no idea. All right, come on. Tommy, you want to do the honors?
All right, you hold that side. You got it?
You got it?
You got it? Whoa.
It kind of looks hard with just the black
The
cover.
black is good. This is AIDS.
Yeah, we'll clean it up. You have, come on, you have to have some like fancy cover and some fancy things.
Wait.
Yeah, see? I knew
Say
it.
less.
Say less.
I'm gonna bless you, valve cover wise.
Oh.
Look at the brand new.
Is that, that's a brand new one?
Brand new. It's
That's
got a
so
little
funny.
dirt on it.
Brand new SR cover, you can buy this, literally.
I have a couple of them.
It kind of looks sick with the brand new cover.
It like kind of just, you don't know where things end though. It's like wearing like a denim jumpsuit. You know what I'm saying?
That's a working man's SR.
Yeah. Let's throw the black one with the HKS cover.
Yeah, this cover is worth more than the first SR ever fucking bought.
Oh, the blacks don't match.
Well, it's just filthy. Get some trimmer store on.
That's so sick. What bugs me about them is like, it's just too much writing. Like I want to shave this and shave
Now, when you
this.
shave them, they look cheap.
Do they?
Yeah, they look
Even with
JP,
this?
you know, when you shave SR20 valve covers, it looks
But do you think this
cheap.
would help?
With the center cover would definitely
It looks, because it looks dumb K without. That's
Dude, it's so good.
It looks like a Miata engine if you shave that.
Junk.
where was the engine when Tommy snapped it?
Dude. Told you.
That is so cool. Thank you for letting me be the first SR out of here. This
Yeah, hell yeah.
This is so sick. What's the next engine we're doing?
A 2.2 for the Koki.
Yeah?
That's what I want to do for you.
2.2 SR for the Koki? That would make that a
Put in the
cool car.
comments if Jimmy's worthy of a Garage S0 2.2 for the Koki. HKS
Please
2.2.
comment, please comment.
So I'm gonna do HKS 2.2, HKS turbo kit, cast turbo kit,
Nismo
Nismo reinforced 6-speed, HKS intercooler, 450 wheel.
The perfect street car.
FES spec.
The best street car.
Best street car.
Let's do it.
All right, one more. It's like your mom at
It's
birthday.
like a glam.
Everyone smile. You're good. It's like I need the Rocky theme song pushing this through the shot. Yeah, thank you, Peter. Thank you. Move this slow ass GTO. I got an SR coming through. Actually, one of these. This is part of the whole Garage S0 experience. You get your engine built here, Travis will personally put his strength to the test and put it in your vehicle.
I mean, we ain't putting the strength with this fucking little thing, but you got that?
You can wiggle it in. Jesus, Travis. You good? Your sphincter still in stack?
Yeah, that's lightweight.
Alright, she's back in the shop. We officially have a built long block, which I keep saying, but the transformation absolutely unreal. The fact that it was here 2 weeks ago, not looking too hot for us.
Pretty bad.
So this is wild. This beautiful Garage S0 built engine with our beautiful Kelford head package to get us right. Now, I gotta shift gears with this car and get this thing done now because I am dying to see what this thing can do. I'm like tempted to swap it into the Black Z. But no, we'll be good. I'll get that bay painted, I'll make it go quick. I don't know what to expect. I think that's the funnest part about it. And we learned quite a bit in the last few videos, which is a really awesome experience. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys learned a thing or two. And honestly, there is deeper we can go, and I'm excited to venture in that. I mean, luckily we have that resource so locally, so if we could take more advantage of that, I sure hope so. So let me know what engine you guys think we should build next and what we should do with it, because I'd love to see where your brain is at. But for now, huge win. I'm pumped. That was really awesome. I'm sick of driving the Tommies. He's too damn far away, but it was totally worth it. So for now, we got our engine. Time to get the thing complete. And well, this week, we got a car to test. I'm so excited to see what that thing can do. So got to get it prepped, and then we're hitting the track. But for now, you guys know the deal. Like, comment, subscribe. Do not forget to hop below Shop Shimming and cop that pre-order so you don't miss out. And well, stay tuned for more content. Good night.